My mission is to impact the hearts and minds of women, helping them change their stories and empowering them to love themselves, their bodies, and their lives.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm Hannah Dawson, your host and transformation coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, mindset coach, writer, speaker, and creator of the Fit Club Babes app, and I am here to help you transform your life. While I love teaching all things nutrition and fitness, and trust me, you'll get lots of that on here, my true passion lies in the power of mindset and self-relationship. I know firsthand how powerful a mindset shift can be. It has profoundly impacted not only my health and fitness journey, but also my relationship with myself, and it can do the same for you too. Many women believe as we age, we lose our beauty, body, and health, but that's not true. You can feel and look amazing and get better with age, and I'm going to show you how. Are you ready to change your story? Let's flip the script one thought at a time. What is up, my Change Your Story listeners? I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I'm so excited to share. This is going to be a brand new series and theme for the Change Your Story podcast. I've really been spending a lot of time, and this is what this topic is going to be about today, thinking about what it is that I want to give to you, what it is that I want to leave you feeling with, how I want to help impact your life in such a powerful, positive way. And so over the next few weeks and actually few months, we're really going to be diving into changing your story around topics like rejection, self-relationship, addiction on all levels, disorders, body image, and lifestyle transformation. We are going to dive in and get raw and real in conversations that are honest so that we can gain clarity, so that you can gain clarity and be able to move forward. I have amazing guest speakers who are going to share powerful stories and insights with you. And I just am really excited because this is just going to make such an impact in your life and has made such an impact in my own life. So if you haven't yet, go subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you share this podcast with 3 friends that you know would benefit from this and who would feel empowered from this. And without further ado, we're going to get into this. And I'm going to start off by saying a prayer. All right, prayer has made a huge impact in my life, and I hope it makes a huge impact in your life. So whatever you believe, I just pray that you would be open to receive. Some of you may know this prayer and some of you may not, but it goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I pray everyone listening today that their hearts and minds would be impacted, that whatever it is that you need to hear, I pray that you would hear it clearly. May this message bring you clarity, courage, inspiration to take the next step on your journey of transformation. Thank you for being here. So, my beautiful soul sisters listening, that is what I believe you are. I believe you are here because there's something deep inside of you that is craving more. And you can't put your finger on it. You're not sure yet. But I know, because I have been where you are, that it could be one word, one story that just changes everything. And so this episode is about embracing change, okay? It's not just about external change, but the deep transformations that happen, that shift within us and that challenge us to grow. So we're going to dive in together and we're going to explore how we can change our stories and become who we are meant to be. Are you ready? All right, let's get into it. So here's the thing about change. We hear changing your story. Yes, we all want change, right? We all talk about it, we crave it, and we set goals around it. But there's a difference between wanting change and actually stepping into a process of changing. And that's when we have to ask ourselves, what are we willing to exchange to make that change happen? What are we willing to exchange? Everything in life comes with a price. Everything in life is going to require a sacrifice. We're either going to sacrifice what we want now for what we want most, or what we want most for what we want now. And we will be left with the consequence of that decision. And it really comes down to fear and faith. A lot of us shrink back because of fear of the unknown, fear of being stretched, fear of, things not working out. Change is uncomfortable, the fear of discomfort, right? Change requires something from us. It's not something we can just receive without first giving up certain things. Sometimes it's comfort, sometimes it's old habits, or even relationships. But change requires this give and take. And a lot of the time for the change that we're seeking, we can say we want change, but then when it comes down to it, it can feel really scary because it's going to require something. It's going to require certain trade-offs. And you have to ask yourself, do you want it that bad? Right? It will always change, will always bring something out of you. But it's always going to feel like you're not sure. It's always going to feel like this thing because you've never been there before, right? You've never been where you want to be. And so it requires this faith, right? The faith in the unseen. But knowing that what you are believing for and you're working for, no matter how hard and how uncomfortable it is, that it will come about. Change isn't just a one-time decision. It's going to be a process, and it can be painful, right? It can be a painful. Growth is not comfortable. Even as a child, growing pains, like my girls go through them, their legs will hurt and ache. Because their body's being stretched, it's growing. And so growth can feel like that spiritually and mentally. It stretches us and it can feel uncomfortable. And change often, most times, comes in loss. Sometimes it can feel like we're losing things, losing people, losing opportunities, losing ourselves. But those were just things that were familiar. And if nothing changes in our life, nothing changes. Ladies, it's really important to understand that change isn't just a one-time decision. Like I said, it's a process. And it can be painful. And most often, change will feel like loss. And that's where it gets hard. At first, it may seem like we are losing our old selves, right? Our comforts or things that we once relied on. And it's natural to feel emotional and resistant when we are faced with these shifts. But this sense of loss is actually an exchange. And we are learning to let go of what no longer serves us so that we can become the person that we are meant to be. It's like stretching. It pulls us out of our comfort zones and it pushes us to step into a version of ourselves that we have never met before. You have not met the highest version of yourself. And she requires you to go through and grow through and go through these seasons of letting go, of almost pruning. And this has kind of been a season that I have been experiencing myself. It's like, okay, we have built. I've spent the last few years or more building to have almost everything crumble. And you can start questioning, am I doing the right thing? Where did I go wrong? But here's the thing, sometimes it's the undoing that is actually the doing, is actually the growing, that sometimes for what looks like everything's falling apart is actually falling together. And that can be really hard to see unless we're reflecting, unless we're really, doing self-reflection and doing personal growth on ourselves. And what I have found to be true is that when we take those shifts, when we decide that the discomfort of change is greater than no change or remaining the same, change often brings this natural exchange of loss. But in those losses, we find strength, right? In my weakness, He is strong. We mature. We gain new levels of awareness, personal growth, new levels of consciousness. It's when we are in full pursuit of becoming the highest version of ourselves and changing the story that no longer serves what has been in our lives, and we decide that change is important, that it is a non-negotiable, is when transformation truly happens. It's like there's that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I just think that's so powerful. When you're ready for change, change will appear. And it's not always going to look like how you think it's going to look. Most times change will come in loss. Change will come in letting go. And what we feel like we're losing, we're actually gaining something so much better. Each time we let go, each challenge we face, you guys, shapes us, and it brings us closer to our true potential, to the highest version of ourselves. So these experiences, they don't just change our story, they deepen our understanding of who we are becoming. And it's so exciting, but it can be so scary, because when we understand the cost of change, I want to change, or you have a goal, but then you realize that goal is going to require you to be stretched. That goal is going to require you to give up some comforts. That goal is going to require you to change your environments, people, places, things, comforts. There's always trade-offs, and change will always have a cost. Whether it's comfort, whether it's your time, or your relationships. Nothing new can be gained without first letting go of something. You cannot have one hand hanging on and one hand reaching forward. You're not, I think there's like a superhero, the stretch man or something. I don't know, I could be saying that wrong. But like, you're not the stretch person. Like you're going to have to let go. And whatever you let go of is what you're going to be left with. And so if you let go of what you truly want, because it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it's the unknown, then guess what? You're going to snap back to comfort, to what has always been. But if you let go of what has always been, to reach forward to that change, to that discomfort, to that hope, to that faith, you're going to be pulled in that direction. This process, it often feels like tug of war between the familiar and the unknown. Like I said, you're stretched, whether you've got your hands in one and your hand in the other, or you have a rope and your future and your comforts are on both. One is on both ends. It's uncomfortable. Things feel scary. You might feel the urge to go back to what is uncomfortable, even, get this, if it no longer fits who we are. Change requires us to grow. And a lot of that time, we will step into growth. We'll step into change and we grow. And it can feel a little bit scary. And we can find ourselves wanting to step back to the comfort, but we don't no longer fit those comforts anymore. We no longer fit those environments or those people anymore, or those habits anymore. So our only option is to just keep pressing forward, pressing into the discomfort. But these moments of discomfort, they're actually signs of growth. They mean that we are stepping into uncharted territory, and that's a good thing. All right? Here's the thing, we have to get really good at navigating fear and discomfort and understanding them and not fearing them. Right? This is where change gets isolating, because often we start this process alone. We are facing fear and discomfort on our own. But remember, this discomfort is only temporary. It is proof that you are growing. And when you're stepping into the unknown, it can feel like you are facing a new version of yourself, one that is unfamiliar, and you're not sure if you trust her, and maybe even a bit intimidating. But that discomfort is a sign that you are on the right path. And this is, what I can say from my own experience, through my whole life and going through and growing through all of the different levels, and fighting all different devils and demons that I've had to personally battle. And it has all required me to step into new levels of myself that I didn't know if I was making the right decision. I just knew where I wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to be. And it wasn't fitting who I was anymore. It was like I was outgrowing. It's like that your child trying to put on that favorite outfit that doesn't fit. And you're like, it doesn't fit anymore. But they're like, I want to wear it. What you are going through no longer fits you anymore. It's time to get something that fits you. It's time to move in to something that fits you. And stepping into the unknown, it can feel like you are facing a new version of yourself. And that can be scary. But I want you to know that, growth in the beginning may feel like you're alone, and it may feel scary. But I want you to know that you are not alone. It's really important to understand that there's certain aspects that are going to require you to be alone, because solitude is such an important part of us being able to reflect and get to know ourselves. But growth, which often starts as a personal journey, doesn't mean you are without support. There are your people. There are your soul sisters that are on this journey with you. And a lot of the time when we are letting go and stretching forward, there's a transition period. We're not really sure, and that's why it can be easy to shrink back to things that are comfortable, to realize we don't fit there anymore, and to feel alone. But you just have to keep moving forward, because if you have that mindset, if you have that persistence, you will be surrounded with women on that same journey, as long as you have faith that there are those people for you. Ladies, I have created a community of women on the same journey, a place where you'll feel connected to others, like-minded women. And I've done this because I realize that we can't do this journey alone, that we do need support, and that all of us will always be on different levels to a point. But that's such a beautiful thing, because there's going to be some women ahead of you and some women behind you and some women right where you are. And there is wisdom in all of the levels and all of the journeys and all of the levels of awareness, I call it. Like we keep evolving. Our consciousness keeps evolving. Our awareness of who we once were and who we are now will always evolve, as long as you are, committed to personal growth, to your spiritual growth, to your physical growth. As long as you are committed to yourself and committed to always evolving and changing and always stepping out of your comfort zones, And change isn't easy. I know that. And unfortunately, it is not without discomfort. But remember, you are not alone on this journey. And our community, and we are here to help you and support you every step of the way. And together, we can embrace change, make the exchanges, and step into the next chapter of our lives. So if you are ready to join us, let's walk this path together. So I will ask you again, and this is some time that you need to reflect, and nobody can do this for you. Are you ready to change your story? Whatever story that is holding you back, you know what it is. Are you ready to change it? I'm so excited to be on this journey with you, and over these next few months and these episodes are really going to help you dive in to each part of yourself and the stories that may be keeping you stuck. Here's the thing, girl. You are not chained. You are not locked into a jail, but there's certain beliefs that you have that are keeping you stuck. And unless we know the truth, we can't be set free. And I don't know who said this. I heard Bob Proctor say, and he quoted somebody, and I tried to find it. I can't find it, but it's this. It says this, is that you cannot escape a prison that you don't know you're in. Meaning there are certain beliefs that you have that if you don't know that they are keeping you prisoned, if you are taking those beliefs as true, then they will keep you locked in. But once you understand that they are not true or that they've prisoned you, you can leave, right? And it's just so powerful that changing your story and evolving and becoming into the person that you were always meant to be, into that highest version of yourself, into the one that God created you to be. One that you don't even know, you could never even imagine or fathom how amazing she is until you start evolving and growing and changing your story so that you move in the direction of that person. I want to say this, is that changing your story isn't about changing you. Changing your story is about changing the story that is trying to keep you stuck. There's a story, it's like playing on repeat, that is keeping you. It's like you're stuck in a fun house, and it's like a bunch of laughing clowns keeping you stuck, a really creepy fun house. That's what your thoughts they're just playing on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And you're like, why am I so stuck? Why am I keep doing these cycles? It's because of your belief system. A story needs to change. There is a broken belief system. And that's why, ladies, I'm so excited for this next series, because I'm going to share something that I heard as well. And it's this, that your belief system is based upon your evaluation of something. Your belief system is based on your evaluation of something. A lot of the time, our belief system has been put there by the environments we grew up in, by the people that raised us, by the people that were around us, even if their belief systems and what they thought were warped or distorted or addicted or all of those things, we can take that on. And so here's the thing, that as you grow, and as you reflect over these next few weeks and these few months as we go over these topics, is that if you frequently evaluate something that you're going through, your belief systems will change. It's such a powerful quote. It's one of my favorites. I should get it tattooed on me. It's by Louise Hay, and it says this, and she says this, that a belief is just a thought, and a thought can be changed. So change your frickin' story, because if your story isn't taking you in the direction you want to go, your belief system is broken, and you have the power to change that. So over the next few weeks, I want to bring you some powerful transformation. I want to impact your heart and your mind, and I want transformation to take place. I want to hear stories. I want to see your life radically change, and I want to hear about it, because I believe that that's what self-reflection and pursuit of becoming your best self with a little bit of dose of faith and a little bit of belief can totally transform you. So take this journey with me over the next few months. Make sure you tag me on social media to let me know you're doing this series, because I want to know and I want to give you a shout out, and I cannot wait to hear how this impacts your life. So make sure you tell me how much it impacts your life, because it already has impacted my life. So with that said, we're done. I'm going to say bye for now. And again, go share this with people. If you haven't rated it, rate it, review it, leave me a review. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're excited about. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now.